Yeah.
One, two, three, four.
By the sound check.
Didn't have one before, sound. That's another thing I've got to put on. Sound
Bad.
check.
Robin, quickly. To the bad poles.
Bold.
The red lights on the bottom.
That sounds good. He's got a great mic.
I've got one of them exact ones for me DJing. Exactly the same one. I've got two radio mics actually.
Why's he got the great mic?
Oh.
He's attacking. What? Smell it? But when he plays the guitar.
Yes, I'll put it back.
Yes, okay, that's good. Fine.
Hey.
Here we Hello and welcome to a non-stop half hour of fun that is Time Tunnel TV. Now for a poem of epic proportions. Take it away, Sean.
Far from the reach of prying eyes, where fetid streets meet cold night skies, where the men dealing drugs and violence and lives, this is a tale of Soap Street. It's a red brick jungle where mills once were. There's a half-hearted whimper as something weak stirs. It looks like a woman, no wait, it's a girl. It's a girl that got mixed up on Soap Street. Well, the girl this girl is, but a child she is not. The dolls and the toys and the prams all forgot. Now she's a habit she finds hard to stop. It's a habit that's common on Soap Street. Well, crack cocaine is the name of the game, and the players number in thousands. And they play all the time, be it rain, hail or shine, and the rules of the game are astounding. It's always the last minute, it's always a draw, but they're always destined to lose. And it's a sad little tale, but this is their life, and it's a life that they live but don't choose.
Bravo, well done, young man. Well done, young man.
That's your own work, Sean, yeah? Your own work, tremendous. Well, that was brilliant, that. But let's bring things to a sense of order with a smashing documentary.
Bam! Pow! Welcome to the crazy camp world of Adam West, born September the 19th, 1928. Adam had various TV roles in the early 1960s, but it wasn't until his role as Batman on the outlandish TV show that he became well known. The show ran on ABC from 1966 to 1968 and had many crazy and almost surreal adventures, which had West and Burt Ward, who later went on to produce Pornography, in all manner of far out and silly situations. Was also, in 1970, offered the prestigious role of James Bond by the infamous Cubby Broccoli for the film Diamonds Are Forever. However, West declined. After the television show ended, he had less work and went into a decline for some years. However, in the early 2000s, he saw a comeback in voiceover work, mainly playing a parody or an exaggerated version of himself.
As a superhero, I use America Online's powerful email to keep tabs on my arch enemies.
Medication time, Mr. West.
My trusty sidekick.
America Online.
There we go. Tremendous. Very nice. Now, we have the man here himself. Let's hear it for Adam West, everyone. Adam, a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, thank you.
Right, Adam West, so where did it all start for you? We know about the actual show. 1966 to 68.
Indeed,
but what
yeah.
were you doing previous to that?
Well, I was in a number of, they tried to make me a leading man in a number of 1950s shows. But they realized very quickly that my true talent was of more of a comical nature. I think it was something to do with my very precise diction and the way that I could deliver a line. As you see, I'm very good at that, a line.
A line, yeah.
You see. And I think that illustrated it perfectly.
Yeah, of course, the voiceover there for the VT footage. So what was the first transmission like way back in 66? How did that come around? And
Of the infamous and possibly, well, the best Batman
yeah,
series.
correct,
Thank you,
I
yes.
agree.
I think it was a great fun time because, may I use on TV today the word camp?
yes,
Camp.
That's
yes,
Christmas.
Camp. Because in no way, I must say that the whole series was camp, but not in the way that we would associate Batman as a homosexual.
I mean, when I grew up, that was it. That was Batman. I mean,
Yes.
Superman was Christopher Reeve, Batman was Adam West. And then he disappeared, didn't he, for quite some time. And then in the late 80s, he was brought back to life in motion pictures.
Yes, in a
sort of
very dark form. I played him in a much more comical way,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I think the kids really loved.
But of course, you know, Jack Nicholson was involved with the
Yes.
films, and it was
Yes.
Michael Keaton, of course. Was he
Yes.
the first James Bond
Yes.
in '89?
Yes, well, I was asked to be James Bond, actually, on a role, and
yeah.
I decided to turn that role down. Sadly, I would have made a lot more money over the years if I'd carried on with that one. But I thought personally I was better than Sean Connery anyway.
Sean Connery.
But I was very pleased to take on the role of Batman because I think I brought colour and comedy and humour to the role.
I mean, that's the way it was meant to be. Marvel Comics brought him to life as the character you portrayed, alongside
Perfectly, I portrayed it perfectly.
alongside
yes.
probably the best Robin, Burt Ward. Now, you've got a couple of interesting tales to tell you.
Well,
about Burt,
if we've
haven't you?
got time, I've got to be careful because of legal issues. And what I say about Bert, you know, I've got to be careful because he might just sue me. But Bert did go on after that role. I think the costumes got to him quite well, and Catwoman and the bondage thing, you know, it was a little bit too much sexually for him. And he went on to become a major director of pornography movies. I think he acted in some of them as well. I think that's where his true interests lie, in deeply sexually disturbed type of
So obviously
material.
the costume didn't restrict him. in
Well, you
life.
know, Batman and the whole thing,
Yeah.
the relationship between Bert and that, let me say, we never had a homosexual relationship. Oh, and that, you know, that brought back a bad memory, actually, when he did attempt something. I'll stop there.
Yeah, I
But,
think you need to, yeah.
I think the costumes, he wanted to get into bondage, he wanted to move on, and he made a lot of money out of
Well, we have
this.
one here, don't we? Today.
Yes,
We have
indeed.
one
That's one
of
of
the
my
ones that you
favourite
wore.
costumes. I wear that on a Friday.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Right, who's his main arch nemesis then, would you say, Batman? He's got so many, Mr. Freeze,
Well,
Catwoman. Who would you
the
go for?
focus has been very much on the Joker and the insanity of the Joker, and I think that's good because that portrays the other side of Batman's mentality. He is actually the Joker as well as himself, and Batman could easily become insane because of his disturbed childhood. In fact, I've just come back from the tuxedo from a benefit for very disturbed children who've been disturbed by the portrayal of Batman over the years. Many of them have ended up in insane asylums.
What, through Batman?
Oh, indeed. It's a very deeply disturbing story. Not the way I did it, but there are people who've attempted it since, you know.
Yeah, well, like you say, so why did the series come to an end? In fact, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to talk about that a little later on, and a few other bits and pieces that you're involved with current day. So thanks for speaking to us, and we'll speak to you very good. Okay. Right, we'll be back with Mr. West, as I said a few moments later, in a few moments' time. West by name, West by nature. But first we're going over to Salvatore and the ED News.
Hi, I'm Jack Ryder, and welcome to Gotham News Network. Today, our top stories are Joker breaks out of Blackgate Prison. The Joker has escaped from Blackgate Prison after his accomplice, Harley Quinn, sprung him. He broke out with a lot of his gang, and he is now on the streets of Gotham, apparently hitting every single bank, including many fish factories, poisoning Gotham's fish supply. Strange, but that's just a Joker for you. Killer Croc also escaped from the asylum this week. He's apparently been spotted around the sewers and also around the water treatment plant, so if you're around that area, watch out for Croc. Also, Black Mask and the ventriloquist have been in a gang war. Make sure to stay away from the Bowery area, of course, because this place has been engulfed in gang warfare with Black Mask troops moving on the Zionist plant that originally belonged to him. Of course, the main story of tonight is to do with Arkham City, the new prison setting up in Gotham. Unfortunately, this is going to take off much of the city, and Mayor Quincy Sharp has said that this will help curb the crime problem. But is this not just bringing the crime problem into the city? Well, I don't know about that, but we are going to cut to our reporter, Jack, who is on the scene, apparently talking to Adam West.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, and the year is 1966, and TV actor Adam West has been confirmed for the new role in the TV series Batman. He may receive great success on the show. After it being cancelled, he will go into a bit of decline before playing parodies of himself on later animated TV series. Yes, Adam West is set to enjoy cult acclaim for the camp adventures on the show.
So
His
how has he...
parents were killed, and he hung around with a much younger boy. He said viewers won't be disappointed with this series. This is Josh Matthews for Ed News. Back to the studio.
Thanks for answering my question before I asked it. Anyway, that's all we got time for on Gotham News Network today. See you later.
Thanks to the guys in the news studio of Gotham City and Salvatore. Okay, back to Adam West. Now, before we went into that brief break with the news, we was talking about the demise of the series in '68. Why did it come to an end? It was such a popular series on both sides of the Atlantic. What
well,
happened?
this is an interesting question that many of my fans ask me. My fans are numerous and still ring me up and
All three of
camp outside my house and my hotel and my little mansion that I've got there called Arkham Heights. Well, I don't know. I think the times changed. And we'd done just about everything that you could do. I think the movie was the peak of it. It was a wonderful movie. I'm sure you'll agree.
Yeah, yeah.
You have, of course, seen the movie.
Yeah.
Ah.
I've seen it. I've seen them all. I used to love Batman in the '60s. Like I say, it took it away from me when they brought it up to date in 1989.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Well, it's very
I
nice
prefer
and
the
set it.
original.
I think that's mainly because of the way I portrayed Batman. You know, I didn't take myself too seriously.
No.
People enjoyed the comedy and the relationship and the kapow and the whop and bop. And I think we brought a lot of joy to people's lives, you know, without the more serious things that were going on at the time with Vietnam. Vietnam was a very bad time, obviously, and people needed escapism.
Well, it was also a colourful time in the '60s. If you go to sort of the Beatles and the
That's true.
Monkees, and
Yes.
they were making a splash, if you like. But moving on,
Yes.
how do you feel he's portrayed now, the Dark Knight, Christian Bale, who's portraying it
Well,
now, Michael Caine and his Heath Ledger?
I think they're exploring the darker side of the whole character, which is fine,
Yeah.
except for, as I say, the poor children, many of them who I've seen lying in mental hospitals, who have to be strapped to beds because they're so tormented by the deeper, darker, disturbing side of the Batman character. I'm glad not to be associated with it because there are too many children who are going through deeply bad nightmares over this. I think they should be banned, personally. Tim Burton has actually done a great disservice to the whole ethos of the Batman comic books.
Do you think we'll ever see Batman back in his original guise, his original form? from
Well,
the 60s? Do you think
well,
that'll
if you've got
ever
time,
surface?
the original Dark Knight Returns, the book by Frank Miller, was of the story of Batman as a 55-year-old individual who came out of retirement and was very, it was funny in some ways because he was very old and couldn't take the punches no more. And so he went out and there was rumours that Clint Eastwood was going to play the role.
Well, he's a bit older than 55.
Well,
he's,
now,
he's
but at
80,
the
isn't he?
time when the
Yeah,
book
yeah.
came out, he was going to play the role. And I think he would have done a good job of it and brought some of the humour, because he's a great fan of mine.
Oh, well, I know. I've been reading bits in your book and that.
Indeed.
But what I'd like to talk about before we wrap things up is you're actually involved with a huge project at the moment, an animated series, Family Guy, Can you
Ah,
tell us your
well.
part in a Family Guy?
Well, my life, my character, me, in fact, lives on as an animated character. And
Right.
you really know you've made the big time when people start using satire. Do you guys in England understand the word satire?
Oh yeah, I think it's you guys in America that get it
Oh,
stuck
that's
with
good.
that.
I wasn't sure if you guys really
Oh, yeah,
understood
we
English too
understand
well. You know, because we understand English very well. Satire, yeah, and those programs, once you're in one of those, and I got a lot to thank Homer Simpson for, because he's the guy who really brought me back into the public eye. And then, of course, everybody, South Park and Family Guy, they all realized that if you've got Adam West on the show, you've got a show.
So would you say he's reinvented himself in a respect, Adam West? Do you think a lot of the younger viewers now will go and watch the Batman series of the 60s now and try and put it
there is
towards-
a legal issue that they can't release it on DVD for some reason. I don't know why, but it's running on like I think Channel 5 in your country. It's only a little channel, but
Yeah.
you know, but a lot of your TV's little, ain't it? You know. So yeah, I think you're going to be seeing a lot more of me.
Right, so what are your plans for the future then?
My plans for the future are to make a lot more money.
We all think that.
Yeah, to
we all
go.
wanna do that.
Yes, there is a few issues about the benefit fundraiser I've been to tonight. Apparently, the money disappeared at the last moment.
All right. Well, you've got big pockets, so.
Well, you know, the suits cost a lot, you know, and
yeah.
so. But the kids, you know, what would they know? They're insane anyway, so they don't need the money.
So we'll always remember you fondly as Batman there. Any other things? I mean, you parodied yourself several times as well, haven't you?
Oh,
over the
indeed. I
years?
mean, if a man can't laugh at himself and make himself look ludicrous on TV, what can a man do, you know? It's a good thing to look stupid at times.
So if Burt
I made
Ward-
money out of it.
If Burt Ward came knocking on your door to star in one of his
Oh, Bert.
more mature films,
well, he
would
likes
you
to
do
do
it? Would you-
adult movies.
Would you do that though?
Oh, he's asked me many times to perform, as it were. Well, I think that would make for a pretty interesting thing because, you know, still got it, you know, man, you know, still can function and all that.
Yeah.
So I think
wanna know that,
if you, well, you know, if you want to look at around on the porn industry, you might see Adam West making a comeback. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's excellent.
Okay.
So again, what do you think of the UK then? Your fan base over here in the UK. I mean, you had some good feedback on that?
There are great people in the UK. We in America love your little island, you know. We do think it's a small little island that we control, as we proved during the Iraq War. But it, you know, we tolerate you, and it's nice that you like our programs.
We do. We love the. Well, we're lost without American programs over here in the UK.
Indeed, you'd be lost
again,
without
you've brought
America,
a lot of
really,
pleasure
wouldn't
to
you?
a lot of young kids.
I
whether
have.
they're, Whether they've been damaged in any way with your costumes, and if you
Oh
go,
no.
most of the shops around Christmas stock all the Batman costumes.
I just wish I was making some money out of the
Did you ever,
royalties.
before we go, did you ever see the Fools and Horses episode with David, Jason, and Nicholas?
I did, and I thought it was a great tribute to me, you know. But of course, I always looked better in the suit, a lot better, you know. I still do, by the way.
Yeah, but
Okay.
you're ready to spring into action as we speak, aren't you?
What do you mean?
So-
I'm not in a Burt Ward film.
No.
Spring into
Anyway,
action.
I must say we've
I
just
could.
about run out of time.
I could.
Anyway, thanks for your attention to detail there.
It's
Brilliant
okay.
talking
Remember
to
the
you.
bat.
Tremendous. And of course the outfit. Tremendous. Okay, that's great. Well, that's all we have time for now, so we're nearly out of time. But for a second performance, we're going to go back to our friend Sean, who's going to give us some instrumental magic. So once again, it's thank you very much to Adam West, thanks to Sean, the crew, and from myself, Graham Wilson, home. And take it easy and have a good night. Take it away. Thanks.